from Kaushik Mohanty sir. It's another quant sitting, and sorry, it was on mute stage basically. So this is another sitting that I am continuing from my last sitting. This is also a quantum quiet series that presently I am following of Kaushik Mohanty sir. And to be very frank, this is the my main motto for this is that reducing my mobile consumption. Actually, I'm in following this series, and also at the same time, I am basically preparing only using my mobile phone. So the amount of internet consumption, as well as at the same time, the just to reduce my screen time at the same time and focusing on a pure particular series will enhance my preparation aspect as well, and I guess this should also be a motto of each and everyone who shall be following this series. Not only this series, in any case of studies or preparation which anyone is preparing for. That's how. Let's continue with the series. As I was going through the series, I had a question which was being selected on, I guess, the sixth question of the ratio and proportion questions, where half of the volume of the petrol and kerosene mixture of the ratio 7 is to 5 is converted into a mixture of the ratio 3 is to 1 by the substitution or replacement method, and while the mixture of the ratio of 7 is to 5 was formed from the mixture of 7 is to 3 by adding the kerosene in it. If 240 liters of petrol is required in the replacement method, which initiated at first, what is the total amount of kerosene was added to prepare the mixture of 7 is to 5? There is a good question, I guess, on the sixth number question, which has just completed and has moved on to seventh as well. Seventh question has been related to the data insufficiency case, and I was saying that this is also a good question. I guess these type of questions are pretty common in CAT as well, and in various other a bit high specific examinations, competitive examination. As in, you may also get on SBI PO or such as that. Sometimes ago, in a cinema hall, a blockbuster movie was being shown. Due to the excessive demand of the show, manager of the cinema hall increased the prices of the tickets in all the three categories. 25% is in the first class, 12.5% in special class, and 40% in the balcony. This is the increased prices of the tickets. And if the collection of one show was rupees, I guess 2,18,925, then find the collection from the balcony. Only given that the ratio of the price of the tickets, increased price of a first class, special class, and balcony is 5 is to 9 is to 14. Therefore, as you can see that it's the seventh question of the ratio and proportion of the book. I guess it is being for Quantum Cat of Strength. I guess is the publisher, and here in this particular question, only data has been given regarding the price. Therefore, which I found interesting was that this sort of questions is pretty relevant to the banking as well as various other highly specific arithmetic sections of exams which are being preferred to. I guess from the next time onwards, SSC is also going to set up the questions regarding those only. And these are questions also do come in RBIs, as in if we know that RBI assistant is in lineup, so therefore the people who are preparing for that might also come across these sort of questions, and specifically the mocks which people give. They may also have seen this data insufficiency like questions, and whether prices of a certain commodity or in that fact of matter is that only one sort of a factor is given in the data, and the rest other factors are missing, but one goes on passing the time on finding out the actual answer of the question, which is just insignificant to answer. Since it is insufficient to answer, it's insignificant as in case that there's a data which is insufficient to just let us know with what the actual answer would come up with, and therefore we see these sort of questions in these sort of examinations. So identifying the question and as well as identifying the uh, what I should say, identifying the amplitude of what a question can come in which sort of an examination is also priorly important. Suppose someone is preparing for classic examination, which since I am from West Bengal only, people from West Bengal may prepare for classic examination as well as that is of Group C and D and examinations, and as well as various other examinations of banking sector also, as in clerk also. They might find this interestingly that this might not come on the prelims, as well as for the West Bengal examinations and other I guess state government examinations in which there is only a single part as well as a descriptive part in the next part, next sort of examinations. I don't find this coming in the prelims. This type of questions may come in the main section, I guess, and most importantly in the banking examinations and classic exam, mostly on VPS clerk or the SBI clerk examination means this sort of question can. Next, moving forward, I guess there is another question which was related to the question is in a mixture of petrol and kerosene. Petrol is only 99 liters, and if this same quantity of petrol would be presented in another mixture of petrol and kerosene, the total volume would be 198 liters less than the actual mixture. Then the concentration of petrol in the actual mixture would have become 13.33% point less than the new mixture. What is the concentration of the petrol in the actual mixture? This is also a good question. In this part, as we can see, is that the concentration first one should note down is that concentration is in terms of percentage. Therefore, there are two components, petrol and kerosene. Like say in actual, petrol concentration was less, for instance, because what has happened is that there are two components, no, petrol and kerosene. So in the actual mixture, when the total initial volume was V liters, and out of that 99 liters were petrol and V minus 99 was specifically the kerosene. When 198 liters of the mixture, total volume of the mixture has been withdrawn, therefore the remaining quantity of the new mixture is V minus 198 liters. But as an instance, what we can see is that 99 liters of the petrol remains constant. Therefore, whatever quantity of the volume, whatever quantity change has happened in the new volume of the new mixture has happened in the kerosene quantity only. So, as in fact, that K actually actually greater than K new. That is, kerosene in actual is greater in quantity than the K new, and whatever change has happened is equals to 198. Therefore, 198 liters. So, this should be an equation which predominantly is factoring out that one should understand the concept that only the change which has occurred will happen in the kerosene part only. And now, as in this, if kerosene composition is changing, what matters is that the total volume is also changing. And as in case, the actual quantity since being higher than the new one, therefore, the actual petrol concentration was less. But in the new mixture, when the total volume of the mixture has reduced, therefore the concentration of the petrol has increased to a certain extent, and the vice versa has happened for the kerosene concentration. Since in petrol, for the mixture being constant in terms of the percentage ratio, therefore the actual concentration of the petrol has decreased, wherein the new the concentration of the petrol concentration has increased, and vice versa, as in case that kerosene concentration has increased in the actual case, and is in an increased state basically, and in the new it has decreased. Therefore, if we solve it up, it would come out to be an equation like 99 was petrol composition, was petrol concentration, therefore 99 by V minus 198, that is basically the second mixture's total volume. Therefore 99, that is petrol quantity, V minus 198 into 100 gives us the petrol composition and the concentration in the second mixture, minus of first mixture's petrol concentration, that is 99 by V into 100, and this is equals to 13.33. H is actually a point, and all this equation is in percentage format only. Therefore, one must notice that 13.33% is equals to 2 by 15 in fraction value. But one needs to understand is that the whole equation since being in percentage, therefore this is 13.33 in this equation is particularly not a percentage factor. Therefore 2 by 15 would not come up, rather it would come as to be 40 by 3 because it's being a number, and when we change into fraction it would come out to be 40 by 3. On solving we would get a quadratic equation, and which would come out to be as if 99 into 5, the two roots, and is in plus, and minus we will get 99 into 3. Therefore term factorization of only 2 is being left off, is it will be deficient, and therefore I guess the concentration of the petrol in the actual mixture would be 99 by 99 into 5 by into 100, that comes out to be 20% concentration of the petrol in the actual mixture. I guess this is how this question has to be solved, and this has predominantly widened out my also thinking in the equation that has been solved easily by Cossection. And next, moving on to the next question, as I see, this question I don't think would come up in any of the examinations here. In CAT, this should come up, but all of the examinations I don't see this coming up. As if a drum of 20 liters is filled with milk. A milkman has only two measuring vessels of 3 liters and 5 liters without any calibration. So there is no marking of any of the quantities which is being there shown, and he has to measure the 4 liters of milk for a customer without using any another vessel. And minimum how many operations are being required for this work? Where an operation is counted if the milk is transferred from one vessel to another vessel. So also I have found this question to be a pretty interesting one, and wherein I have wrote down the steps. Like I have divided the quantity. Here there are three drums basically, and drums and two vessels, a drum and a two vessel. But all those are all the containers. Like one is of 20 liters, one is of 3 liter, and another is of 5 liter. If I go on doing the steps, whatever is required to get the answer, like 17 is basically from the 20 liters. If I withdraw excuse me, withdraw 3 liter from it, therefore the first step would be, the first operation would be come up to be 17, and on the 3 liter it would be 3, and leaving the 5 liter container now aside. On the next step it is that that 3 liter which I have taken, which I have poured down from the 20 liter container, I now transfer it up to the 5 liter container. Therefore, it comes out if I draw a line and sew it up, like there is a 20 liter container, and next is a 3 liter container, and there is a 5 liter container. Therefore, my first operation would be 1730. Next, it would be 1703. That means now 3 liter container has zero quantity, whereas the 20 liter container has 17 liter quantity, and the 5 liter container has now 3 liter quantity with a maximum limit of more 2 liters which can be poured into it. Now what I am doing is, again I am taking out the 3 liter from the 20 liter container. Therefore now the 20 liter container would have only 14 liters of it, and the 3 liter would be and that 3 liter would be poured into the 3 liter container. Therefore the 3 liter is completely filled, and there is also a 60% containing on the 5 liter container, that is 3 liters have also been there. On the next step, 14, and then the 3 liter would have only one, because another 2 liter in it I am pouring it onto the 5 liter container. Therefore the total 5 liter container is filled up, is 5 liters only, and now on the 20 liter container there is only 14 liters, as well as on the 3 liter container there is only 1 liter in it. Next, The total 5 liter volume which was filled in the previous step, I now pour it down to another to the 20 liter container only. So it becomes again now 14, increases to 19. 3 liter container still now has 1 liter in it, and the 5 liter container has zero quantity in it. Therefore, on the next step, if I now the 3 liter container which had only 1 liter in it on the previous step, I put it down onto the 5 liter container. Therefore, the 3 liter container becomes 0 and the 5 liter container becomes 1. And moving on the seventh step, I pour down from 19 from 20 liter container another 3 liters to a 3 liter container to making it full, and therefore the 20 liter container now has 16 liter in it, and the 3 liter container is completely filled with 3 liter, and the 5 liter now has only one. On the final step, that is the eighth operation which I am performing, there would be 16, and the complete liter container will now be poured or withdrawn, and it will be poured on fully poured on to the 5 liter container, making it 1604. That is, the 3 liter would have 0 liters in it, and the 20 liter container will have 16 liters in it, and the 4 liter will have 5 liter will have 4 liters, and making it easier to just pour it out at the 4 liter to the customer. Therefore, since he has to measure the 4 liters of milk for a customer, now he can do it so. I guess all these questions are pretty interesting ones, and I don't find this coming it in any competitive examinations, as in like banking and ISSCs. But these are very good examination, which increases your concept as well as this is a good book which I'm finding out right now. I haven't solved it previously, but I'm finding it pretty interesting. The questions which has been given over here, they're very good in concept. Basically, these are good for concept building. Okay, so I'm putting this on mute at this point of time. I'll be solving for further questions. If I find any interesting question or forward, I will be sharing up with you all. Please do like, comment, and subscribe my channel too, as in case. Stay in connect so that we prepare alongside with each and everyone else, and therefore we build our concepts together. Fine. As I was solving through, I found it much more interesting. The 11th number question. 11th number question is also important, as in yes, this also builds in the concept. But at the same time, the pretty fascinating concept is that a container is filled with a mixture of milk and water. The ratio of milk and water is same, but Bobby and Sunny increases the concentration to 60%, and so both are increasing the concentration to 60%. But one, that is Bobby, makes it by adding the milk. So Bobby is adding the milk, and at the same time, Sunny does it. The concentration makes it 60% by replacing the mixture with milk. So at first he withdraws certain amount of a mixture, and then he fills it up with milk of the equal quantity. So what is the percentage of milk added to it by Bobby to that of the milk being replaced by Sunny? So what quantity is being replaced by Sunny? This question is also fascinating, and I guess this would also enhance the concept of ratio and proportion, which is being studied over here. Let's continue.